once again, YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you some StarMade new in Fleetworks, and today we are taking a look at the ORE faction, O-R-E, which stands for Outer Ring Excavations. So, real quick, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about ORE, the faction, and then we'll take a look at some of the ships closer up. So, who is ORE? What do they stand for? What are they all about? Well, obviously, as the name implies, both in acronym and in non-acronym, it's all about mining. These guys are all about mining. So basically, in EVE, these guys found a massive asteroid full of Noxium. This was in a region of space called the Outer Ring, which is where part of their name comes from, Outer Ring Excavations. And they found this massive asteroid full of Noxium, which is very valuable in the EVE universe. Incredibly valuable. They use it to create, I believe, pods, which is what every Capsuleer flies. And so, it's constantly in demand because Capsuleers are constantly getting blown up. And because they're immortal, they can keep coming back. The market never dwindles when it comes to Noxium needs or their needs for pods. So, with this resource, this gigantic asteroid that they found, they managed to create what was a normal, like a small corporation, and build it into an entire kind of society in this region of space, and they basically claimed it for themselves. They become their own power in the area of space that they occupy, and they are all about mining. The asteroid is so large, and they mine it so little, that it's still around, and that nobody knows where it is except for the people that are mining it, which is ORE. They keep mining of this particular asteroid to a minimum because they don't want to flood the market with this precious material and lower the price, which is how they've gained their wealth. So it's pretty interesting, and it's a pretty smart idea. And I don't know how long the actual corporation's been around. I do know that the ORE ships have not been around since the start of EVE Online, so the corporation itself may actually be only a few years old in terms of the timeline of EVE Online. I have no idea, but that's what we are dealing with here. This is what these people are all about. They're generally pretty neutral. They don't really care about what the other factions do. They live in nullsec, which basically is unclaimed. Well, it's sort of unclaimed, more hostile and unpoliced and unpatrolled regions of space. And because of this, they don't really care what the empires do. They're kind of away from the influence of the empires. And everybody kind of wants a cut of what they've got, and they're not taking shit from anybody, so they just deny it all. They just say no, they turn everybody down, and they do their own thing, which is pretty nice. So that's what these people are all about. It should be noted, in recent history, it seems that the Serpentis organization, which is a criminal organization, has taken over their entire command infrastructure and stolen just about everything that they are working on. Now, I don't know if they've regained the control of their organization and their corporation in that region of space. I don't know if they've taken everything back just yet. This is something that's really recent, like within the past few months of EVE's lore, this is what's been going on. And with the help of some mercenary corporations and a whole bunch of other friendly corporations, not friendly, but helpful corporations, they are creating a consortium. The Upwell Consortium is what they are naming themselves. It's kind of like an alliance, and they are using this combined power to not only take back what was stolen from ORE, but to create a new line of Citadel space stations that they will be selling to Capsuleers in the near future of EVE Online, which is pretty interesting. So, that's basically a rundown of how these people operate and what they're all about. So let's quickly take a look at what we have on field here. I have everything from drones to industrial ships down there, and a few mining lasers over there as well. So here we have a salvage drone. Obviously, it's not really anything you can tell. It's kind of got a boxy back end with a whole bunch of mechanical arms in the front. So this is a salvage drone. I don't really know how well this will work in the future. It's kind of weak. Salvaging and mining in EVE are different than in StarMade. They're not the same thing. Salvaging is taking parts off of spaceships that are destroyed, so like wrecks and stuff, or derelict ships. You use a salvaging drone to salvage parts off of a broken ship. Mining, on the other hand, is the gathering of resources from asteroids, ice belts, or ice asteroids, and gas clouds. Here we have an actual mining drone. It's like a spider type of thing. I imagine even though in EVE it doesn't actually clamp onto the asteroid, that this thing uses its claw-like appendages to grasp the asteroid and just drill into it. But that's not how the mechanics work in EVE, so that's obviously not what's going on there. Here is an expedition frigate, which is one of the newer types of frigates that they've introduced to the ore ship lineup. This one and its sister ship are specifically designed for cloaking. This one particularly is, I believe, Prospect, yes. So this one is used for cloaking and kind of making your mining operations a bit more stealthy, because you know you're in a dangerous region of space. You got to do that. You got to take care of yourself. That's fine. There is an exact copy of this ship called the, I believe it's the Endurance. It was called Discovery, but I think it's the Endurance now, and that one is used for ice mining, so that's what this looks like. Here's the Venture, which is the standard mining frigate used by all of the, basically all the new miners in the game. I haven't done much with this frigate. There's still a lot to be done. I had an older version that had a lot more done on the interior, and for some reason that's all gone now. I have no idea why. It has a drone bay, which you can see back here. It has a cargo bay, which will be down here. And yeah, so this is pretty neat. That's the mining frigate, the Venture. If we come over here, we get into mining barges and mining exhumers, which use the same models in EVE, but they're like two different versions of the same thing, basically. So here we have the Procurer and Skiff, I believe, which is a small mining barge. I believe there's like doors on the side here. I could be wrong, but I'm imagining that's where the door is, so that's where they're going to be for me. And we have mining strip lasers that would be attached to this thing, right? They get fitted on the top and the bottom. And basically, this particular mining barge is meant for survivability. If you are in a dangerous area of space, this thing has a lot of shields, a lot of armor, and it doesn't do well on the mining. It doesn't have a great cargo hold for the ore, but you'll survive and you'll be able to get away if somebody comes in and decides to take you out. The next one, the Retriever, and oh god, I don't know what the other version is. I think it's the Retriever and the Macleod. This has more mining lasers, right? More mining hardpoints. So you can fit more mining lasers. It has a massive cargo hold for the ore, right? It's absolutely gigantic. But it doesn't mine as fast, and it's not as survivable as the Procurer is. And you can see just how much interior space is in here. It compresses the ore by pistoning it to death, apparently. These are pistons that like move back and forth along the underside of this thing. It's pretty sweet. And then we have like pistons along the side. You can see that some of them are extended, some of them are not. It's pretty interesting. These are like kind of the most mechanical ships in EVE. They've got like gears on them too. Like if we come back here, this is a gigantic gear. I don't know why they need gears, but they have gears on their ships. It's very interesting. It's verging on steampunk with that one feature. I mean, it's not entirely steampunk, but it's interesting that they would put something like that on a spaceship in this particular game. This one right here is the Coveter and the Hulk. I believe it's the Hulk. I could be wrong, but I believe it's the Hulk. I could have this one and this one mixed up, but this is absolutely the Coveter, and this one has the best mining rate out of all three of the ships, but it doesn't have as good of a cargo hold, and it doesn't have as good of a survivability rate. This one has flames that are shooting out of the side on this one, which is pretty cool. So if there's ever a way to get the particle system to work in the future of StarMade, it will definitely be in use on this ship with the jettisoning of those flames, which is pretty sweet. These things got some pretty nice armor plates on them too, and I'm wondering if I want to fill these up entirely with like some hull in there. Just some regular standard hull, and then like on the on this one it could be entirely advanced armor on the inside of those plates. This one would be standard, and this one would be regular hull. I have no idea. Over here we have, oh god, what is it? I think it's the Primate and I don't know, the Noctis. So this is the Noctis, which is the Tech 1 version, I believe. I could be wrong. They're both the same ship, really. They're used for salvaging the wrecks of busted up spaceships. So it's got a drone bay in the front here, and there's a lot of interior space because this thing is salvaging wrecks of dead spaceships, so it's got like rotating bits, and it launches the drones, and it can use tractor beams, I believe, and massive salvaging systems, right? So that's what this ship is all about. It's a really nice shape. I am totally loving the shape of this ship. It's really great. I unfortunately cannot get an import of a clean model. I don't know why, but it breaks when I try and import it with a clean model. So this is unfortunately something that I have to clean up myself, which will not be fun. But a lot of it is pretty simple and straightforward, which is a nice, I guess, compromise there. So yeah, that is the Noctis. Now there are 3 more ships. They are all capital ships. We have the Orca, the Bowhead, and the Rorqual, which are gigantic ships. The Orca is not so bad, but the other 2 are freaking massive. Absolutely massive. One of them is well over 3 kilometers long. The other one may be verging on 4 or 5. So those will be reserved for future videos where we take a look at, let's say, the capital ship series that I'm doing, which I'm trying to bring back, which I don't know when will happen. But we'll be taking a look at those in the future. Real quick, we have some mining lasers here, which have not been released. I plan on releasing these, I have no idea when. These are just basic mining lasers. I have to make sure that they're all up to date and ready to go. Some of them, and in fact a lot of them, actually have the same stats, which is really not good. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Some of these do have the same stats. Some of them are simply different colors. So I don't know really if it's really worth releasing these. Of course, having turrets that actually can mine in StarMade would be really beneficial here. And of course, these are not using the rail system, which is something that needs to be addressed really soon if we want these turrets to actually be a viable option. So that is something I will look into, and something I can hopefully take a look at and sort out. But yeah, that's what we are dealing with. I might be able to get some more variety out of the power and strength of these turrets if I change what parts of them are colored. For example, the base of these things is obviously colored based on, you know, the turret edit. They all have, like, there's different models, right? They all do different things in EVE. Like, one of them maybe costs less CPU power, one of them costs less power grid, one of them has a better range or internal capacity for the ore. So they all have different attributes, but a lot of them have the same, like, skin and color scheme. So the only differentiating attributes are those, you know, those different stats on them. The actual colors of them don't really matter. And frankly, the colors change once you apply them to a ship anyway. They take on the colors of the ship that you apply them to anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Because if I release a ship with these turrets on them, they're going to have those colors instead. But I figure, why not? I should release them. I can probably squeeze out a little bit more out of them and maybe some more variety, but it's going to take some time because that's like math and proportions and not funness, so I don't really expect to do that anytime soon. It's not something I want to do anytime soon. But there we have it. So, that is the Ore faction Outer Ring Excavations. Pretty cool stuff. We'll be taking a look at their capital ships in the future, of course. But for now, that's what we've got. So thank you for watching. If you want to leave a comment down below, you may have a chance to win a ship skin variant. You will receive a message on YouTube if you have won by the next episode. So do that for a chance to win. Leave your feedback down below, leave a rating, like it or dislike it, it does not matter to me. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all next time.